popcorn spill, kids screaming loud like a roller coaster thrill. Fast pass is gone, we're standing still, but the castle shines and I get the chill. Mickey's waving, my wallet's drained. This is madness, but I can't complain. It's the magic of mayhem, the chaos we crave, where the churros are gold and the memories safe. We're losing our minds, but it's worth every time. In the magic of mayhem, we're feeling sublime.
I've said this line so many times in videos, which is the Legoland and the SeaWorld, but I'm gonna say it again. It's been 20 years since I last stepped into Legoland, and this time I brought my 1.5-year-old son Maverick. From classic rides to hilarious parenting moments, here's how Legoland delivered some unexpected magic for all three of us. Hello guys, welcome back. It's been a minute. Yes, I still have a podcast. Yes, I don't know if you heard that new intro, but it is unbelievably sick. We live in a world of AI, and it is awesome. Like, come on, tell me that intro was not sick. I want to hear some feedback. So if you're already like listening to this episode and you heard that, tell me, like, was it sick or was it not? I think it was good. Who doesn't love a little, punk style rock? Rocking my new merch right here. Tell me how cool this old school style, like Disneyland sign, the Magic of Mayhem is. You can get that on my store, streamlabs.com/the magic of mayhem. You can't miss it. It's so sick. I've got tons of cool stuff, and I'm trying to release tons of cool merch and hoping that, people enjoy it enough to maybe buy it or, support me. And it's been great, man. Life is great right now. Hope you guys are doing great. And yes, I'm back, finally knocking out an episode here for the Magic of Mayhem. I'm sure most of you follow me on everything else, so the Dads in Main Street, we've been popping off episodes left and right. So it's been great. We have our first guest, and I cannot wait for you guys to hear it. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'm going to talk about, kind of special needs things that actually Legoland, that's our topic for today. So if you're expecting some Disney stuff, I'm just going to be frank. We're talking about Legoland, but I will talk about how, good and bad, Legoland did compared to Disneyland, and some of this might be a little bit shocking to all of you. So I just giving you a heads up right now. Kind of go, deep into this. Rocking my hat from the Making Magic Happen company. Shout out to them. It's a wife and husband, but their hats, they do custom hats, and they do some sick ones. I mean, they've got the LA with the Mickey hands. They got some Disneyland exclusive like hats, pirates. They do all kinds of cool stuff. I actually got a shirt from them, and I got this hat, which I absolutely love, Hercules, so I got this Hercules hat. But yeah, shout out to them. Yeah, go check out their Etsy store. Also, this episode is sponsored by Natty's Market. If you haven't checked out her Etsy store as well, nattysmarket.etsy.com. Check it out, or follow her on Instagram. It's called Natty's Market. Shout out to that one as well. So here we go. Let's just kind of go through our Legoland day. Kind of starting out where, things we kind of planned, things we didn't plan. And then this actually is like a shout out to Legoland because of how well the park was, how good my 1.5-year-old son did. So big props to Legoland. It was really catered to the younger kids, which I absolutely loved. Me being a big Lego head growing up, I loved it. So I loved every moment about it, and so did my son Maverick, as you guys all know. So, right away, the entrance to Legoland just brought so many memories. It had been over 20-something years since I had been, so pretty cool to go back and see how much has changed in that time period, and boy, do they have a lot of new stuff. We went in right away and got a cool, like a Lego embossed t-shirt. My wife and I both did. We wanted some Legoland merch right away, so that's what we did, and they're actually really nice shirts. I'll have to post it one of these days or do a little swag photo for them. But yeah, we bought 2 of them, and immediately we were ready for Lego, right? It took that little bit of a purchase for us to be like, yep, we're ready to go. So go in there, buy that stuff, and then we start, enjoying the thing. So first thing, we wanted to get Maverick kind of warmed up. He is just a year and a half. So we have to, get to that point where, he's used to rides. Our big Disneyland trip is coming up here in December, and we really want him to be comfortable to do rides. So our goal right now is that we shoot to get him comfortable. So that's exactly what we did. We went right away and rode Queen Watevra's Carousel. That's a good one to start with. Get a young kid on a carousel. It's obviously gentle ride, no long waits usually, and this one, like, literally we waited 2 minutes. The ride was already ending, and then we got to go pick our ride. If you watch that Legoland reel that we did, you could see it. The first thing that he's riding is the carousel, and he loved it. I gotta say that, it was the Lego movie world, and as a fan of the Lego movie, I loved the world that they created, that theme, that land. It was awesome. Maverick did so good on the carousel, going up and down, no big deals. It was awesome. He laughed. He was giggling. My wife rode one of the horses right next to him. So always fun to see us grown adults being like kids and riding carousel. And so we had a blast. Maverick got warmed up right away. He's like, cool, we're here to ride rides. He did great. Didn't complain, but I absolutely loved the Lego Movie Land. And yeah, just right away, I just think of Emmett. And then they had the billboard, honey, where is my pants? And I died laughing. I thought it was hilarious, just like they did in the movie. But to see the ad was hilarious. Obviously, that movie's old now. I mean, it's 5 years, 6. How old is the Lego movie? But to still see that and giggle, I felt like such a kid. It was amazing. So yeah, then we were like, so we had actually skipped through Dino Valley, and we came back to it. So we wanted to we're like, what can we do first to kind of get him warmed up? So we picked the carousel, did great, loved the land. So then we come back to Dino Valley, which was the first land you actually walk into if you go to the left. And as Disney fans know, it's all about the left. You always enter the park to the left. Yeah, you go by, City Hall and the fire department in Disneyland. So that's Austin's pick right there. So always go team left. So we went left, went through Dino Valley. So the first ride that we were going to put him on was the Explorer River Quest. We had to wait about, I'd say, 10, 15 minutes in line to get onto the ride. It was just a little gentle boat ride, but officially his first ride. I mean, other than a carousel, this was going to be his first real ride, and we were going to get to see how he would do if he would be, super rambunctious, being in a boat where he could kind of move around, which he obviously you got to stay seated the whole time, but how would he react? Would he get mad that he has to sit the whole time? So we throw him on there, and it's a little 4-person boat, so the adults have to be split. So my wife is up front with him, and I was in the back counterweighting. So they put me in the back left and said, here you go. So I was counterweighting my wife and my son. So it's a cool, gentle ride. Honestly, if I could compare it to something that's very easy, no drops, nothing like that. But if I had to compare it, maybe a little bit Jungle Cruise-y, but less, because you're searching for dinosaurs. And Lego's theming isn't every 2 seconds you have a theme. There'd be a little bit of a gap, and there's a little gap and a Lego. So it's not bam, 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 back and forth. So I think they could improve in that one. But I mean, Maverick was loving it. He loved looking at, they had dino eggs. They had, some of the explorers. One was taking a bath, so he had just a shower cap on and his towel, and it was hilarious. Maverick was just enjoying it. And then at the very end, there's a part where you go through a cave, you see all these dino eggs, which they were all beautifully made. Obviously, anything that Lego does, it's beautiful, and it's crazy that it's all made out of bricks. So they made it, go through this cave, and then right when you exit the cave, the T-Rex comes up and pops its head up, and it does a little bit of a roar, and that was our first one. We're like, oh no, here we go. And Maverick absolutely smiled and loved it. The whole piece. He was smiling. I have a video of him. I pulled away the video to see the T-Rex, and during that time, the kid was beaming, smiling, loved that there was a big T-Rex that jumped out and came after him. So it was hilarious. We wound up actually spending $20 just for the ride photo, just because we wanted to commemorate that. So literally in the photo is me being a dorky dad with his video camera, like looking up at the dinosaur. So I'm like this. Maverick's looking up, and my wife's looking up. Maverick has the biggest smile on his face. He's like, like just could not believe that there was a T-Rex. So proud dad moment right out of the gate for that. Absolutely made me so happy to know that my son is going to be okay on rides. Not scared of the T-Rex, not scared of anything. And I was really proud. I was immediately just beaming. Like that right there made my whole day. I didn't have to do anything else at the park. And I was just completely excited that my son did such a fantastic job on his first ride. So kudos to Maverick. You guys all hear me talk about him all the time. Obviously, I'm a proud dad. And he's my son. So I was really, really proud. Try not to get emotional here because it's just reflection. Even though that trip was a couple weeks ago, kind of reflecting on those good moments is always fun. Let's see here. Next on here, we wound up going for some lunch. We went to the burger stop. For a theme park, it was theme park food. You expect a burger to be like, it's just a burger. It was just a burger. Their fries were pretty good. And Maverick enjoyed his chicken nuggies, I think is what we got him. But we had to take a rest right there. Not dealing, but 1-year-old's energy level is like, you could do a couple things and you need to take a break. So he doesn't get super fussy or anything like that. Not that Maverick really does, but we like to take breaks, to keep him rolling, because we had figured we were going to be there for a minute, and we wound up cutting it just a little bit shorter than we may have wanted. We kind of were breezing through the last couple things, which I'll talk about, but he did great. But you always have like a timeline for how long is my toddler going to last, and he hit that timeline. So anyways, we did a little burger stop. They had a concert going on next to us, and Maverick was laughing. He loved it. He was vibing. It was all, like pop music, but Lego themed. So it's kind of funny. But we chilled out for a minute, and that was great. Then we went to the Adventurers Club in that area. And everything there in the Adventurers Club is like, it's meant for kids like that, right? It's a walk around, touch things, go through different rooms, and it's kind of, explore things like, hey, look for this. This is the thing you need to look for while you're in here. Look for this while you're in here, right? So we did. And the coolest thing in there, they made like one room to be like the Antarctica. And so there was a polar bear that when you walked by, it would jump out and scare you. Maverick giggled at that. They had wolves made out of Lego. They had one, you went into Egypt, into like a tomb, and the Pharaoh's coffin was made out of Legos. Their skeletons made out of Legos. It was really cool. It's a great, like, if you're just chilling and walking through and want to check some stuff out that's made of Legos, it was a fun little like cave thing. Like in every area, find 3 keys. Find 3 keys to escape the room, which is just a walkthrough, so you're not really escaping. But as we were walking through, we found just different things that we could like try and test. And so like there was a snake and an eagle made out of Legos. It was super cool. Great little chill air-conditioned spot. Not that it was hot that day, but, it's great to just go in there and cruise and kill some time. So we wound up doing that. As we were walking through, had a blast. Then we went over to the Lego City, which Lego City, as a kid growing up in the 90s, Lego City was a big thing. Everyone wanted, you want to get the police station, you want to get the fire station. I always loved a car wash. I don't know why. That was always one of my favorite Legos. I remember Shell had actually sold one in store at the gas station, and I remember I had to beg my dad, like, please take me back. I just want to get the Shell car wash and gas station, and I think that's still a thing. I don't know, but I've been through plenty of like Shell gas stations and never seen that again. So happy that I got one when I was little, but yeah, I used to love the car washes. So seeing the Lego City, like, in person again was awesome. But one of the cool things we did was the deep sea adventure. And if you guys haven't like been to Legoland, the deep sea adventure is literally Lego Finding Nemo style, right? But the cool thing is you have touch screens and you're trying to spot treasure, and on the touch screen you're like, I spot it. And so you like hit it, and it's like, yeah, you spotted it. Or if you hit it and it's like, nope, that's actually not there, you're wrong. It has all that. So Maverick, of course, anything with screens right now, he is all about touchscreens. So he is just hammering on that thing. Ding, 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 ding. And while we're in there, and it's got live fish too. So not only is it a submarine, but there's actually fish in this, aquarium that you're kind of riding in a submarine on, and you're in the water. So it's submerged in the water and everything like that. I immediately go in and start hitting buttons too with Maverick, and I hit this button and I'm like, oh, cool. It looks like an intercom button. So I thought like it was part of the ride. And so then I get distracted by Maverick because we're towards a little bit of the front of the sub, and my wife is just, to my side, and I hit the button and it's towards my wife. So I turn away, and then on the intercom, they get up and they're like, is everything okay? And my wife's like, babe, you hit an intercom button to the things, but it's dark in there, so I can't read. It's like, hit this button in case of emergency. So I hit the button thinking it's part of the ride, and my wife goes, no, we're okay. My husband just hit that button by accident. And then she looks at me, and I had no clue. And I thought it was so funny that I was just flying through trying to hit stuff, even though it's just one touchscreen, that I hit the intercom, and the people come on and they're like, is everything okay? And everything was okay, obviously. But I thought it was hilarious. So meanwhile, Maverick is jamming on that touchscreen, hitting stuff, saying, and like, he obviously doesn't know what he's doing, but he's just hitting a bunch of buttons. So my wife's doing it on her little tablet, and me and Maverick are on our tablet just touchscreening it, right? Well, we get to the end of the ride, and it's all, let's grade, what's your level? And there was the highest level, which we didn't get. But there was Senior Explorer, which Maverick wound up getting. I'm like, bro, you just got Senior Explorer on this ride, and my wife, on her screen, she got Senior Explorer. I'm like, this little kid just got 1.5 years old, got Senior Explorer on the deep sea adventure. And we were very proud of that. I was like, yeah, look at this kid. Already a Senior Explorer in Legoland on the thing. Now I'm like, ooh, what are we going to be like when we ride Buzz Lightyear? Is he going to be a stud shooter like his daddy? I hope so. But it was great. Great ride. I would love to do that one again with Maverick. Maverick loved it, and seeing the little fishies as they're swimming around you while you're riding the ride, so fantastic. So such a good one. Really enjoyed that one, and it was great. We had a blast. The next area we went to is the Castle Hill. Castle Hill immediately took me to my childhood again. I remember being there as a kid, being in Castle Hill and riding the Dragon Ride, which is an actual roller coaster at Legoland. And growing up, though, I got gifted the Lego Castle from, I don't know, one of my sister's friends growing up. And I remember playing with that nonstop. Everything about it was, I loved the nights. I loved the Lego nights and everything. So taking it back to Castle Hill took me back to my childhood. And I just could feel that nostalgia of being a kid playing with Legos as soon as you're in that zone. It was fantastic. Seeing, the Lego Dragon also brought me back because I had one. Actually, as I think about it, I think I had the black dragon, or maybe they painted it. I don't know. I had the black dragon, but you would used to get the little flame, and you could put it in the mouth and close the mouth of the dragon, and it looked like the dragon shooting out fire. Still so cool to this day. So immediately, just all these memories of my childhood growing up, The good part about Castle Hill is the only place to grab a beer, too. At the night smokehouse barbecue, we were like, all right, let's grab a beer and keep walking around. And when we stopped there to, grab a beer, it was very relaxing. We got to watch the little jousting ride that I cannot absolutely wait to have Maverick do. It's literally a single person ride, and it's a little horse, right? It's called the jousting. It's something jousting, like knights jousting. I don't know, but Maverick I just can't wait. But they basically ride a little horse on a single person roller coaster. And the job is that you're jousting and practicing to become a knight. So they're like hitting targets, but you're obviously not doing anything. The ride's just doing it all. But it was super cool. So we were like having our beer, watching that. Maverick loved it. It was super cool. While we were there, we had to get the Granny's apple fries. And let me tell you, Granny's apple fries have the potential to be better than what they were. I give it probably a solid 6 out of 10. My brain, as you pick it up, you're thinking, oh, this is going to be a French fry. That's exactly what it looks like. Your brain thinks, oh yeah, we're getting French fries right now. Everything in your mouth starts salivating for a French fry, and you throw it in your mouth, and you're like, this is a weird tasting apple. It's basically just deep fried apple slices. They could do a little bit better with that, I think. The way they do it is they make it like it's a French fry, and I think, well, it is called apple fries, so no complaints there. But I honestly think that they have a potential to like fix that. They could batter them. Ooh, man, maybe call them. Legoland, give me a call. Let's work on something. Let's make your apple fries better. Let's do it. But anyways, little disappointed. They're so hyped. They talk about them all the time. Like, that's on their social media, is that, got to get the Granny's apple fries. I love a good Granny apple. Don't get me wrong. But the apple fries was just disappointing. They weren't that great. Their sauce that they give it was like a vanilla cream or something. It was okay. I was very disappointed. The cinnamon sugar on it, you can't go wrong with cinnamon sugar. But it just didn't feel like, I don't know. Your brain is thinking French fry, and you throw it in your mouth and you're like, not a French fry, apple fry. So I'm sad that I didn't like it as much as I wanted to, but that was just an honest review. I ain't gonna, I'll just be myself and be honest with you. And I think that's something that most of you appreciate about me, is I'm gonna tell it kind of how it is. I really don't care. That's just how I am. So 6, 7 out of 10. Don't expect the world, and it's really disappointing. Even though right here I have a sign that says the world is yours. Don't expect the world, because it's just mediocre. Yeah, I also think they needed it to make it crispier. It was softer than I expected to, so that was something over here. I put a note here. My tongue expected fries every bite, and it just wasn't. There also was a little cart of like villains, I guess is what you call it, the people in jail, and it was 2 pigs. They were pigs made out of Lego. Maverick absolutely laughed and loved these pigs. They didn't do anything. They didn't make sounds. They didn't do anything, but Maverick loved that it was 2 little pigs inside this jail cart, and it was funny. So great little moment there. I have a video of him touching the nose of the pig, and it just makes me giggle. I thought, hey, this is the time where maybe we need to get like Maverick a foam sword, or get Maverick something, fun to play with, so we also have a memory of it. And what do? Yep. We made the rookie move and bought a bubble wand. So we were those parents that got Maverick a bubble wand. And I wore those bubbles proudly, because I'm pushing him in the stroller, and where's the wind blowing? Right to me. So I literally had like 40 bubbles on my from my face down my shirt all at one time. So all those bubbles are shooting right over him, and he's got it in front of him. He's still a little baby, right? He's only a year and a half. So he's got the bubble wand in front of him, and it's shooting him in the face and then shooting me. So we're just both laughing. We're like, oh my gosh. And then he started to like wave it. So then he's like shooting it at people. And now I get like the anxiety of being like that parent. Well, we were those parents, and you just get a little nervous. You're like, I'm sorry, like my son, he's little. And then half the people are like, oh my gosh, yeah, like let him do that. I'm loving it. Let him play with bubbles. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. You just get nervous. I think if I put myself in their shoes too, I'm a kid at heart. So if a little kid is shooting me with bubbles, I'm going to be popping them and laughing with them, right? That's just how I am. So I kind of forget that when it's your own son, you get nervous. You're like, I don't want to piss people off. I don't want to be that parent, but I was that parent. So my wife and I were laughing. But then we're like, okay, this is getting too much of a bubble wand. We need to probably get this away from him. So we started doing every distraction method we could. And this little twerp would see and know exactly where we put it. So he'd always be like pointing at it like, come on, give it back to me. So it took us a minute and a little couple tears for us to finally get it away from him. But he played with it for like solid 20 minutes while we were just walking around the park. And at that point, we were pretty much done with that. So he rode 3 rides. And then he was getting real fussy. So like, especially we got the bubble wand at the wrong time because he was getting tired and he was like done. We did not, and I feel kind of disappointed in saying this, we did not go and see the Lego mini city. We didn't go. It was kind of in a weird spot from where we were, and we talked about it, but we kept walking the wrong way, and by then we were losing Maverick at that point. But while we were walking, still in, the Castle Hill, there's the popcorn machine with the dragon popcorn bucket, and I immediately was like, yes! You know me, I'm a popcorn bucket guy. I see the dragon from my childhood, the green dragon that spits out the fire, but there's no fire, as a popcorn bucket, and you're telling me I'm not gonna get that? Yeah, I got it. I told my wife, I'm like, sorry, this is the one thing I want. I want a, popcorn bucket that's the dragon. And I don't even have it here in my office. How shameful of me. I'm not even there to like show you it. So disappointing. Yeah, so anyways, got the green dragon popcorn bucket, loved it, loved every ounce of it. I didn't even get the popcorn. They were like, you could go pick out a bag. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I just want the popcorn bucket. And I've had this fear, my wife has now instilled in me, of, giving Maverick popcorn at a young age. And I've seen the videos now where like a kid goes to the hospital because he can't digest the popcorn. So I'm now freaked out. So I very rarely have popcorn around Maverick, even though it's one of my favorite things. I have backed down. I have done the sacrifice for my son. So one day when he can start eating it, we're going to eat 1,000 pounds of it. But I'm sacrificing for right now, so that way he doesn't have any issues and cause that. So full circle moment to have like an adult Lego, aka my popcorn bucket. I was really excited about it. As we're walking out, seeing the Lego Ferrari exhibit, talk about a cool combo, Legos and Ferrari. That was cool to see. It's cool to see, like, Ferrari red is something like, guys, I was a race car driver. Seeing that Ferrari red and Lego combined in their own building, it was super cool. Love that crossover. It was really cool. We also went through the Land of Adventure. Was cool. A lot of cool things. They had Egypt, pharaohs, stuff like that in the Land of Adventure. We kind of breezed through it. We didn't really just have a chance to enjoy that. Like I said, we were losing Maverick towards the end. Walked by the Ninjago world. That was made for older kids anyway, but Maverick, we did stop at the front sign and got to see it. And Ninjago was a little bit after me. I was a 90s kid, but that was towards the end. So we didn't really feel like we needed to go into the Ninjago world. I know my nephews loved Ninjago growing up, so it's just a little bit past me. So it wasn't something I was looking forward to. And then we wrapped it up in the Fun Town. And we went back into the store one last time to kind of see if there's anything else we wanted. I wound up getting another shirt. It was something like Space Rockets are the best. And I don't know, something. I love it. It's a Lego shirt that's all about space. And I love space, so it made me giggle, made me laugh. So let's talk about comparative differences now between Disneyland and between Disneyland and Legoland. Legoland had, when they themed a world, it was themed well. It was themed very good. Nothing can beat Batuu in my eyes as far as theming because it's full engulfed in theme, right? Legoland had its pockets of good theming, but there was too many gaps, I felt, in my opinion, about them theming. So they could definitely compact or add more into a certain space, I think, but that's just my opinion. But the biggest thing that I noticed, and this is something you guys will hear on the Dads of Main Street podcast, the biggest difference I noticed about Legoland compared to Disneyland, every ride, every experience had a sensitivity rating. When it came to, say, your child struggles with loud noises or anything, they literally had a scale that rated it. This has, light flashes at a 1 to 5. This has a smell effect at 1 to 5. It literally broke down every ride aspect of what is going to affect your child in this. So if you have a child with special needs, They absolutely crushed it. They even, as I was walking through the Ferrari world, noticed that there was a sign that said between 11 and noon is for children with, hearing sensitivity and need it to be in a quiet area for an hour. An hour. They shut down the room and specifically do it just for kids that, don't want it to be loud. They want it in the quiet area. They want to be able to experience something without all the loud music and the bangs and all that. So for those that struggle with that, I immediately thought LEGOLAND crushes that. Crushes it. You'll find out on the Dad's Main Street about, neurodivergence and the struggles of a parent that has to deal with that. I guess I'm giving kind of it away. I'm not going to tell you who it is. You guys can wait till that releases. But that was something huge. Learning something like that I had to learn with. I'm very uneducated about it. And it was a great learning experience for me to be able to hear this about, a parent that has to, raise a kid that has neurodivergence and how much they're aware about it. You'll hear it in my voice too when that episode releases of how disappointed I am that Disney handles that so wrong. I'm not going to cover the topic a lot, but I just wanted to give a big shout out to LEGOLAND about them just taking that on, taking ownership for, kids with special needs and making that and catering it to them, catering it to their special needs at any point in the ride. At the beginning, this is what is on this ride. As your kid struggles with this is this ride not for you. If your kid struggles with this ride's not for your kid. Or, hey, this is a warning. If your kid struggles with it, this is on the minor side. Or, hey, we just set aside a whole hour for a quiet room. So if your kid struggles with sound and loud noises and people, this is our quiet time to come back to it. I literally thought as like a parent, like, how awesome, LEGOLAND, how awesome. And I don't think they get a big shout out for that. Now, we didn't have to go through the process of like, hey, I am bringing a special needs kid to the park. How do we get like a DOS pass? Hearing about Disneyland, I was disgusted. But hearing about, so I can't have like an opinion about LEGOLAND and how they deal with that. So if you have dealt with that, please message me and let me know so I can be kind of educated on that. But I just am saying that when it comes to those things, I'm just very disappointed that Disney does not have it set the way that they should, versus LEGOLAND going all out with warnings and labels and putting stuff at quiet times. And I was very impressed by that. And I thought it was very funny that I went to LEGOLAND and then have this conversation in my mind, remembering what it was. So the fact that it was just like, just a passing thought, that's cool, 1 hour quiet time. But then to actually hear a parent dealing with that and how much that affects them and, brings them up to how they have to react to everything when it comes to being at a theme park. And it made me really proud. So LEGOLAND, huge shout out to you guys. Fantastic park. Don't get me wrong. There's some gripes that, I'm difficult with Disneyland. I'm difficult with everything, but it's just being a real honest human and what we deal with. Right. But just for them to go the extra mile for, special needs and everything like that made me super proud to be a Lego fan. Call me a master builder. It's been a minute since I built a Lego, especially now with Maverick being so young. Can't wait to get some Duplos. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I did not buy any Duplos just yet. We're kind of waiting probably till after 2, and then we'll start playing with Lego Duplos, because right now he's just going to throw it anyway. But we'll get there. And I cannot wait. So, kind of a shorter episode, but that's okay. Wanted to talk my piece about LEGOLAND. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please follow along the Magic of Main Street. The Magic of Main Street. Wow, that's Sean's podcast. The Magic of Mayhem and the Dads of Main Street. We have so many podcasts now with names that are this close to everything. So the Magic of Mayhem. I actually, just quick wrap up. Did my first collab with Jets in Sacramento. That's one of my reels right there. Their theming for this month of July is Jurassic Park, since the new movie released. And their whole bar is set up as Jurassic Park themed, including their, cocktail menu, which was awesome. My son, as 1.5-year-old, got to go in there, so it wasn't like it's not a family-friendly place. And I should have said that in my reel, that kids are allowed up until 9 o'clock, I believe, and then it shuts down to 21 plus. So if you do have little ones, and they have food and everything there, so their food was great. But yeah, Jets in Midtown Sacramento, great spot, fun. They're theming sick. They do a theme every month. So that was my first official collab reel. Don't call me an influencer because I hate that. But yeah. I'm pretty excited about that. But yeah, thanks for listening. Again, love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. I'm going to try to get back to being more consistent with the podcast. I don't know about you guys, but I struggle sometimes just to hit the, record button. But when I do, I'm full steam ahead. And I really enjoy it. So this is Austin with the Magic Mayhem. Again, I hope you enjoyed that intro. It's my new thing. I will see you guys next time. Love y'all. Love your face. Hope you have a great time. See ya.